Dear London, the journey to you was quite a pleasant one. On the plane to JFK, I mostly listened to music, the Mellow playlist, and made a Christmas card for Debbie. The skies were also quite beautiful in that evening time. The 6-hour flight from New York City to you wasn't that bad either. Ariana and I became Jewish for an evening and enjoyed our kosher meal. I also got time to watch the classic When Harry Met Sally. It was very cute. After landing, it took us another hour and a half to get to the place that we were staying at Hackney. But Katie's place is quite cozy. She has a 2-bedroom flat with a playful mix of blues and pinks. She even left up her Christmas decorations for us, so the flat is quite festive. Our first meal was at a Wetherspoon called Baxter's Court. Wetherspoons are basically a chain of pubs that are located all over the UK. They have great food for a very reasonable price. This particular one we visited many times during our stay in Hackney. Dear London, over the course of our 8-day stay, we tried to hit some of the tourist sites. Anna really enjoyed the visit to 221B Baker Street, or otherwise known as the flat of Detective Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson. The replica of the famous dwelling place was quite fantastic. So many artifacts of the various tales by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The upper floors even had reenactments of some of the various mysteries. Even though I'm not a huge Sherlock fan, I really did enjoy visiting the home of the famous detective and his partner in crime. The London Eye was also quite spectacular. London, you are a pretty city, and to see all of you, all the angles from a high perspective, well, that was definitely a treat. We experienced the London Eye at night, which I think can only be added to your beauty. Everything was lit up. The compartments were also quite spacious, and the ride was long and smooth. Although my dad said that it was just a big tourist trap, I really enjoyed it, and think it's worth experiencing at least once. However, my favorite tourist activity was definitely high tea at Harrods. But first, a bit about Harrods. Wow, what a department store. I had never seen such a grand shopping place in my life. But it wasn't just the size that impressed me. Inside it was beautifully decorated. There was even a small museum room. Back to the tea though. I love tea. And fancy tea? Well, there's nothing better. During the tea experience, I felt like I was a fairy tale princess, sipping my tea, munching on scones, and chatting with my 2 sisters, Ariana and Debbie. My tea was this lovely and rich black currant and hibiscus flavor. The color, aroma, and taste were delightful. Overall, it was truly a magical experience. Dear London, you are beautiful. I think there is definitely something to be said about the architecture of Europe and how it vastly differs from the US. Your streets, they're adorned with buildings that have a history waiting to be told. We love taking the legendary double-decker buses and sitting at the very front to gaze at your sights from a little height. One of the reasons we came during the holiday season was to witness how you decorated. And wow, did you impress. Regent Square was particularly lovely with all the shops lit up. I also love the parks. Thank you for blessing us with a couple of sunny days to explore the nature you possess. Dear London, I want to tell you how amazing your system of public transportation is. The number of resources you have is amazing. The underground tube, the overground, and the buses. All the trains operate very efficiently. When one leaves, the next one's right around the corner, 3 to 7 minutes away. I love the Oyster cards too. It's nice to just tap and ride and not have to worry about carrying individual tickets. I have to say though, the tube system is quite intricate. So many lines and hundreds of stops. But I also love the atmosphere of the tubes. It's like you're operating in a whole other world. Hundreds of people, going in and out, all traveling different directions to various destinations, all experiencing the crazy adventure we call life. Dear London, do you want to know why we travel so much? Well, it's because we like to eat. In London, you gave us a taste of the world. During the stay, I had the best Indian food. The pho in Hackney was both fantastic as well as revitalizing. Just what I needed on a cool English day. This was the first time I got to enjoy authentic Middle Eastern food, and wow, that was amazing as well. Ariana enjoyed her traditional English breakfast, whereas I preferred some sweeter treats. But overall, the food here was wonderful and a mix of various cuisines from around the globe. Dear London, I'm writing you my last letter at the Delta Club in the Heathrow Airport. With my last legal glass of wine, I'm able to reflect on what a wonderful time I had exploring you. Although we had a pretty long stay, we didn't get to do nearly as much as we had wished. Nevertheless, the experiences I did have were truly memorable. London, you allowed us to reconnect with our former exchange student Debbie. You showed us your beauty, both nature's parks and man's transportation. With your bright lights, you lifted our spirits during this holiday season. But most of all, you were the perfect setting for a time for family and relaxation. I hope to visit you again soon. Sincerely yours, Karina Rao.